This tutorial is designed to provide you a few key strategies while searching for academic resources. Today we're going to be using this sample question: what are the principal effects of parents splitting up on children's ability to cope with their lives? The first step is to identify the key concepts. Everybody will probably do this a little bit differently, but the point is to have an idea about what those key concepts are. Next, try to identify what words you think are probably okay as they are, and which terms might need synonyms. In addition to synonyms, think about ideas or concepts that might be connected to those terms. So in this case, coping is a broad category. There's lots of ways that you might cope or measure how somebody's coping. The next step is to eliminate all the words that don't contribute directly to the meaning. When you do this, you're left with a string of key terms, not a sentence or a question. Now we're ready to go to the library homepage and type our search into OneSearch. Note that I'm starting with the most important terms only. I'll add others later. I always like to look at how many results I get to make sure that I didn't spell something incorrectly. Next, I start looking at the results. The results include standard information like title, author, or authors, the name of the publication, the date, the volume, the pages, and something you may or may not have noticed before, a list of subject terms that are connected to your topic. What you want to do is look through that list of subject terms and see how your original search matches up against the terms that you're seeing. When I do that for our search, I notice that there's a single term that captures both of the main ideas in our original search: children of divorced parents. Because this is the term they use to describe what I'm looking for, I'm going to substitute it in the original search. You can see when we do that the total number of results decreases. Next, because children of divorced parents is an exact phrase that I'm looking for, I put it in quotes. And when I do that, the results are narrowed dramatically. Quick explanation for this. When you put a string of words into a search with no quotes, it looks for any mention of those words in the page, no matter where they are. But if you already know the exact phrase you're looking for, you can put that phrase in quotes, and then the search will only return documents that have those words in that exact order. This quotations trick works with most search tools, including Google, Amazon, and virtually all library databases. All right, so we've identified a good working search term. Now we can add a second term, coping. When I do that search, I see I get 526 results, which is a good narrowing. But when I scroll the subject lists, I don't really see the term coping coming up. But in doing that, I do see the word resilience, which is a great term for our search. And that leads me to another suggestion, which is to always keep a list of key terms that you're encountering, both in your search and in your reading. You're on a vocabulary hunt to use the vocabulary that you're encountering in your search. Here's the basic process then. You start with your key terms, your opening search, just a few key terms. Think about what you're expecting to see. Look at your results. Think about why you got what you got. Adjust your search by substituting out the vocabulary that you're encountering for the vocabulary that you used originally. Narrow your search by adding one term at a time and always checking to see whether or not you're getting good results by adding that term. Do this until most of the results that you're getting back look on target or useful for your research. Once you've dialed in your vocabulary this way, you can go to the left-hand column and narrow by peer-reviewed journals if you're looking for an academic journal article. There are lots of other ways you can narrow on the left-hand column, including by date. Do this after you've dialed in your vocabulary. Here you just select creation date, change the from and to dates and click Refine. Now let's choose a sample article. Once you've located one, you click on the Available Online link directly below the article. Then you choose any one of the databases listed under View Online. If you have a choice, know that the PDF version always has charts, graphs, and other visual information included. When you get to the actual article, you'll see in the right-hand column there are options to print, save, cite, and even save to Google Drive. If you choose the email option, when you click on that icon, it takes you to a page where you type in your email address. For the subject, I usually write the title of the article or some portion of it, and then you get to choose which citation format you want it sent in. Gavilan uses both APA and MLA formats, so check with your instructor about which format is appropriate for your class. Here's what that email looks like when you receive it. You get the PDF attached, and then down below in the body of your email, you get the full citation of the resource that you sent to yourself. Sending the citation is definitely easier than starting it from scratch, but always check to make sure it's accurate. This one is not quite right. This video has outlined a process for locating high-quality academic resources from Gavilan's databases using OneSearch. Start by identifying key concepts, deciding which terms need synonyms, eliminating terms that will probably not have much meaning in the search, placing exact phrases in quotes, scanning subject terms in the results and replacing vocabulary, adding one term at a time in building your search, and then narrowing by peer-reviewed journal and date after you define your vocabulary. If you need help, don't forget that you can go to the Gavilan College Library homepage and click on the Ask a Librarian icon. We are here to help you succeed.